Lord Metalton, another author without an author's page. So many today. There's so many today. They wrote Foundation Playsets. The second last one. I am getting slowly very exhausted. But that's hey, welcome Zeno, welcome. Popping in late again, no worries. I mean, you can watch the VOD afterwards. Let's just get the last two done because I am tired. I already had like a 4-hour read yesterday, and it's gonna be another 4-hour read today. God damn. Object class safe, special containment procedures, instance of SCP-2228. How to be stored in the original packaging inside storage vault 12 at side 73. Access to SCP-2228 requires level 2 credentials, and any instances of SCP-2228 removed from storage vault 12 for any reason must be logged on side 73's database. Description: SCP-2228 refers to a series of identical boxed sets, each 30 x 30 x 15 centimeters in length, of polyethylene figurines labeled SCP Foundation Containment Site Playset, with Dr. One Entertainment given as the item's manufacturer. Oh, it's been a while, Dr. One Entertainment. Your name dropped a couple times, but it was never, the SCP itself was never yours. The graphics covering the packaging consist of the following: an SCP Foundation logo with the playset title written beneath it. Above, an artist depicting of a Foundation containment cell containing a creature with several violet tentacles assaulting what appears to be a Class D individual through its open door, along with two individuals in lab coats taking cover under the table, and two individuals in tactical gear opening fire on the creature. The sides of the box are illustrated with photographs of the contents of the box in various configurations, most with children's hands manipulating the object. The other side of the box details its contents and displays the following message: Object, fun. Object class fun. Special containment procedures. All junior researchers are to have hours of anomalous fun with the new SCP Foundation Containment Site Playset. Description: the SCP Foundation Containment Site Playset contains everything a junior researcher such as yourself needs to secure, contain, and protect. TM: anything you can imagine. Simply add any item into the containment cell, and our patented Insta-Anomalizer technology will give it a unique set of anomalous properties you can experiment on. Addendum: do not add living creatures, weapons, or items with pre-existing anomalous properties to the containment cell Insta-Anomalizer. The Dr. One is not responsible for any physical or mental damage caused by misuse of the SCP Foundation Containment Site Playset. Ages 8 to 14, some assembly required. Badges not included. SCP Foundation logo, and Secure Contain Protect are registered trademarks of the SCP Foundation, all rights reserved. You say that, but you probably did not ask if you can use it. You little cheeky bastard. Lips. But the fact that Dr. One Table made a toy based on the SCP Foundation is a problem. I love how it says safe. I would actually give it like Euclid. Like, what if, like, you know, it has mass produced this thing and a bunch of children are playing and it's like, what is this? Who is the SCP Foundation? The contents of the box are as follows: two models, 10 cm in height, of individual dressed in lab coat with Foundation logos on the right breasts. Two models, 10 cm in height, of individuals equipped with gear typical of Foundation security personnel. One model, 10 cm in height, of an individual in an orange jumpsuit with D1234 written across the back. Several models, accessories including clipboards, test tubes, pistols, and batons designated to be held by the above models. One disassembled enclosure, approximately 20 x 20 x 10 cm in 10 dimensions. Along the enclosure front side, there is a blast door style opening with containment cell written above it. Its left side has a transparent window, and its back side has what appears to be a generator or power supply with a removable panel for the insertion of two AA batteries. Double A, yeah, it doesn't matter. One 10 x 15 cm sheet of paper containing information on the upcoming Global Occult Coalition Type Green Termination Playset. It's like, we're expanding. It's like Monopoly, like making like all Monopoly and Lego, having all these different like brands like versions of themselves. SCP SCP-2228 anomalous effects manifest when an object small enough to fit inside a containment cell is placed within it when 2 AA batteries are inserted into its back panel. Disassembly of the item has revealed that the batteries serve no electrical purpose other than activation of several light-emitting diodes and a small speaker. It is currently unknown why SCP-2228 anomalous properties do not manifest when no batteries are inserted. The item will develop minor anomalous properties through the duration of an individual interacting with SCP-2228. These properties typically manifest as anomalous means of interaction with other components of SCP-2228. Recovery: 300 instances of SCP-2228 were recovered in transit from a truck owned by the shipping company. Okay, I thought like 300 instances were like discovered from like people that own it, which I was like, how are you this calm about it? In the object class description, you know. Following the interception of a commercial broadcast on the 5th, 19th, 2003, the briefing of shipping company employers has revealed that they were not aware of any anomalous activities by Dr. One Entertainment and had only recently accepted a contract for the shipment of the organization products to local retailers. All employees were administered Class B amnestics with false memories implanted and documents concerning the shipment were replaced. The broadcast that led to that discovery of SCP-2228 has been transcribed below. Transcript 1. Scene opens with 2 children, one male subject 1 and one female subject B, approximately 8 to 12 years of age, expressing a disinterest while playing with toys in a suburban household. These old toys sure are boring. A bright flash and a puff of smoke occur behind subject A and B. The smoke clears, revealing a middle-aged man wearing a multicolored suit and top hat, along with thick glasses that magnify the object's eyes to an exaggerated degree. Subject C. Dr. Entertainment! The actor playing Dr. Entertainment in this commercial has been identified as the Foundation currently has several conflicting descriptions of the individual known as Dr. Entertainment. It cannot be determined if this is factual likeness. And that's right, children. Why just play with those boring old toys when you can't? Subject C points out the set dining room table. Another bright flash and puff of smoke is seen, which reveals a full assembled instance of SCP-2228 when it clears. Contain them! View changes to subject A and B, who are now dressed in lab coats. What? View changes again to an asymmetric view of the fully assembled SCP-2228. Subject B places a toy horse in the containment cell. This toy horse appears to teleport within the cell several times. Small text appears on the bottom of the screen reading actual results may vary. My horsey can teleport now. Subject A places a toy soldier in the cell. A Class D figurine appears to spontaneously levitate before being slammed repeatedly against the cell wall. And my action figure can move things with his mind. The blast door of the cell opens and one of the researcher figurines repeats the actions of the Class D figurine. Oh no! A containment breach! We better send in security. Subject B places one of the security figurines in the enclosure. The soldier figure shakes in place for a short period before falling over. View changes to a static image of a box containing SCP-2228 laid on its side, behind a fully assembled instance of SCP-2228. Voiceover of subject C. With these SCP Foundation containment style playsets, you can have enormous amounts of fun helping our friends at the SCP Foundation contain anything you can imagine. Coming soon to a store near you. Some assembly required. Batteries not included. Undercover Foundation agents have conducted interviews with 24 individuals, including actors, directors, and technical specialists involved with the production of this broadcast, which revealed that none involved were aware of the object's anomalous properties, nor were they aware of the activities or actual existence of the SCP Foundation. Imagine that. You worked on a commercial selling the SCP Foundation toy set that makes things, you know, anomalous. Some gives like some supernatural effects. Why did you do that? Because you know that really is a problem for us since we are the Foundation. It's based on our work, so we want to know where the hell you guys heard from this. We actually never heard from it. Wait, so what is this foundation you're talking about? Ah, shit. MS6. Further research revealed that the mass production of SCP-2228 had been outsourced to manufacturing, and the graphics on the box were outsourced to designs. With a total of no fewer than 200 individuals gaining limited knowledge of the Foundation and Dr. One Entertainment. This has been classified as a Class 1 low-threat information leak. All individuals involved were exposed to the SCP Foundation name in general, likeliness only, with no information implying its actual existence. As such, further amnestic treatment have been deemed unnecessary, and a Class 1 disinformation campaign was put into the place. The SCP Foundation and the Global Cold Coalition are currently monitoring commercial broadcasts for the future release of any similar anomalous or compromising products. Experiment log 2228. Oh god, okay. Come on. Come on, Afro, we can do this. Experiment 1. Rationale. Experiment 1. Rationale. The purpose of this experiment is to replicate the circumstances noted in the commercial broadcast of SCP-2228. Materials and procedures. 1 instance of SCP-2228 fully assembled. 1 plastic horse figurine similar to the ones shown in the broadcast. 1 plastic soldier figurine similar to the ones shown in the broadcast. All components of SCP-2228 will be placed in a similar configuration to that shown in the commercial. The horse figurine will be placed in the model containment cell, followed by the soldier figurine. Results. Approximately 5 seconds after introduction to SCP-2228 containment cell, the horse figurine began levitating 2 centimeters off the ground. The Class D figurine then slid over the horse figurine before lifting its... the Class D figurine then slid over the horse figurine before lifting itself on top of it, assuming a seated position. The horse figurine continued to levitate at varying heights while circling the containment cell. The horse figurine was removed, and the soldier figurine was introduced. Portions of the soldier figurine painted to resemble skin began to glow red, and after a short period of time, the Class D figurine face melted. No heat was produced during this process, and the soldier and Class D figurines had returned to normal after the soldier figurine was removed. It went supernova. Experiment 2. Rationale. This is a repetition of Experiment 1 for the purpose of determining if any patterns can be discerned from SCP-2228 and anomalous properties. Materials and procedures. The same materials and procedures used in Experiment 1 will be repeated in this experiment, with the exception of a different instance of SCP-2228. Result. Upon introduction into SCP-2228 containment cell, the Class D figurine again slid towards the horse figurine and assumed a seated position on top of it. The horse figurine then achieved sudden acceleration to around 25 meters per second, as well as sudden deceleration to a stationary position upon coming within 1 millimeter of the containment cell walls. Neither the Class D figurine nor the horse figurine suffered any damage from this acceleration despite the forces involved. It's going supersonic speed. The horse figurine was removed and the soldier figurine was introduced. After a few seconds, the soldier figurine slid towards the Class D figurine and raised its arm to make contact with it. The Class D figurine, limbs and head detached from its torso, which was spontaneously flung towards one of its cell walls. It seemed that while the actual properties given to these items by SCP-2228 don't remain constant, they do seem to match the context of the items. Example: the horse gained properties related to transportation, the soldier gained offensive abilities. Makes sense, yeah, Dr. Reiner. Experiment 3. The purpose of this experiment is to determine how the anomalous effect of SCP-2228 applied to objects with less specific defined context. 1 red neoprene ball, 5 centimeters in diameter, and 3 instances of SCP-2228 fully assembled. The ball will be placed in 1 instance of SCP-2228 until SCP-2228's anomalous effect manifests. The experiment will be repeated on 2 more instances of SCP-2228 to determine if any patterns can be observed in these manifestations. Results: shortly after introduction to the first instance of SCP-2228, the ball began to levitate 5 centimeters off the floor. All the figurines began to levitate and move around the ball in a circular motion. All figurines cease motion after the removal of the ball. The ball was introduced into the second instance of SCP-2228. The object began to bounce on its own, quickly picking up speed before changing direction and randomly bouncing off of the walls of the enclosure, eventually impacting the Class D figurine before coming to a stop. The ball was then removed and introduced to a third instance of SCP-228. The object began to roll towards the Class D figurine, then stayed at its side and bounced in place. Repositioning the Class D figurine caused the ball to repeat its action. This seems to support my theory of the context sensitivity of SCP-2228 properties. These manifestations were at least tangentially related to the ball, but I'm curious what happens as we introduce increasingly abstract objects, Dr. Reiner. Experiment 4. Rationale. The purpose of this experiment is to determine how the properties of SCP-2228 manifest when exposed to an invented object with no previously defined context. One white ABS sculpture, approximately 5 cm cubed, produced via a 3D printer. The object consists of a random configuration of organic shapes and was designed so that it did not resemble any common object or organism. 3 instances of SCP-2228 fully assembled. The sculpture will be placed in one instance of SCP-2228 until SCP-2228 anomalous effect manifests. The experiment will be repeated on 2 more instances of SCP-2228 to determine if any patterns can be observed in these manifestations. Results. Upon introduction to the first instance of SCP-2228, the sculpture changed into a fluid, amorphous state, which approached the Class D figurine and engulfed it. The object then exited the instance's store and repeated its action on each of the researcher and security guard's figurines. Upon removal from the instance of SCP-2228, the 5 figurines were discarded from the sculpture mass before it resumed to its original shape. Of note is the fact that the sculpture still felt solid while in its amorphous state. The sculpture was then introduced to the second instance of SCP-2228, where it caused a minor spatial anomaly whereby the interior of the instance the interior of the instance containment cell expanded into an extra-dimensional pocket, roughly 1 meter squared. Upon removal of the sculpture, the instance resumed its original form. However, the extra-dimensional space contracted quickly and launched the Class D figurine towards the ceiling, with sufficient forces to cause a major fracture to Dr. Reiner's zygomatic bone upon hitting him in the face. The test was suspended after this incident. Yeah, of course, somebody got injured. Experiment 5. Note: Dr. Brigham is overseeing the testing of SCP-2228 while Dr. Reiner is recovering from his injury. In the incident during Experiment 4, all staff involved in any further experiments have been instructed to wear protective visors and padding. The purpose of this experiment is to determine the purpose of the warnings on the SCP-2228 packaging. Oh fuck. Yeah, the weapons. 1 Glock 17 9mm handgun unloaded. Anomalous item 48169 chosen to for its innocuous anomalous effect. Pardon me. Due to a limited value of the information that can be gained from this experiment, Site 73 command has been deemed the testing of these 2 items an unnecessary risk. Gotcha. 1 specimen of species Rattus novecicus and 1 instance of SCP-2228 fully assembled. Each item will be introduced to an instance of SCP-228 until its anomalous properties manifest. Shortly after introduction to SCP-228, the specimen of Rattus novecicus grew to nearly 3 times its original volume. Ew, shit. That's a big rat. The object then underwent convulsions before expiring. Upon removal from SCP-228, the object returned to its original size. An autopsy of the subject revealed that the cause of death was a massive seizure, presumably brought up by shock of its sudden change in mass. Yeah, fair enough, Rat. Fair enough. Fair enough. This would be a sick toy if it didn't, you know. I mean, it's kids, man. They would eventually mess around with it and put something in there that's not supposed to be in there. Making toys anomalous to increase the fun for the kids. Doctor never. No wait, it's written wrong. It's bam. Never ceases to impress me. Ballsy to make it SCP Foundation themed. I'm sure the Foundation was. I'm sure that caused some high alert alarms. Some alarms going off in their heads. Okay. One more. Foundation playset. Oh, I'm just tired. It's almost another 4-hour reading. It's crazy.